Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. Another beautiful day here in southwestern Ontario in Simcoe, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you don't have your own demonstrator and you live in Canada, feel free to shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com or stampsandtea.stampinup.net is my demonstrator website. So welcome everybody. So we have a lovely new bundle from the July to December mini catalogue. It's called Hello Harvest bundle and it's $68.25. It's a beautiful stamp set, got some lovely sentiments in, lovely pumpkins, flowers and what have you. That's a picture of the front of the stamp set. It also comes with matching dies. Dies are beautiful, and you get dies to cut out the pumpkin shapes, but you also get dies to emboss and cut out different pumpkin shapes, so it's quite a versatile set, and that goes with the Hello Harvest stamp set. The other item we're going to use today, these are called deckled dies. Now deckled just means that they're not straight around the outside, they're sort of, you know, rough cut around the outside, so I think they'll add a nice rustic touch to this card we're going to make today. You can also purchase the DSP, and it's got lots of different, the backs of the pages are all black and white, but you have a nice old olive green in there. You've got a beautiful set here that you could use to make 6 cards with if you cut it carefully. You know, you can make 6 cards out of that. You've got pumpkins, you've got gourds, you've got a little bit of everything. So that's another nice item that goes with the suite and the set and the bundle. So let's get started. We've got some Cajun Craze for the card base. We've got some So Saffron for the mat on the front and the inside. We've got some shimmery white that we're going to stamp on and colour the sunflowers and the leaves, and we've got a piece of white for the card front, piece of pumpkin to stamp and cut out the pumpkin. We've also got some blends, alcohol blend markers. We've got old olive, dark old olive. We're going to use dark daffodil delight. We've got pumpkin pie. We're not going to use that one. We've got dark crumb cake, and I think that's all I used on the card itself. So let's get started. We'll do all the stamping first, then we'll do the die cutting. We'll colour the pieces we need to colour and cut them out, and then we'll assemble the card. So let me just put those up there out of the way, and we'll get started. The card can go to the side for now. What we need right now is this piece and this piece. Let's just make sure I've got a mess on there. Okay, so this is the piece of shimmery white cardstock, and we're going to stamp the flowers on that, the sentiment on that, and the leaves on that. So let me see what I've got. I'm going to stamp the flowers in crumb cake first of all. These are the flowers. And we're going to use the big cut and emboss machine today because we've got so many pieces to cut out. I'm going to try and cut them all out at the same time. So there are my flowers. We've got Cajun Craze, and we're going to stamp the pumpkin on the Cajun Craze card in pumpkin. There. That's the pumpkin stamped on the Cajun Craze card using Cajun Craze ink. And we're going to stamp 2 leaves in this colour, just in case we don't get them cut out properly. We need a sentiment which reads, "Wishing you the loveliest day." middle. and we're going to stamp a couple of leaves in old olive, just for a little bit of variation. Get that one on there. Another piece of shimmery. Well, we're going to have to hope the green, the old olive leaf, works, because I don't have enough room. I could have moved my leaves over a little bit when I was stamping them, and I would have got 2 out of each colour, but I didn't, so that's okay. So that's all the stamping we've got to do. Now, I did notice the first time I made the card that the Cajun Craze ink took a minute or two to dry, so I'm just going to set these here, and we'll bring in the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Bringing in the big guns today. Let me just set that there so I don't smudge it. Now, for the decal dies, we're going to cut out a mat for the inside of the card. So I want die number 1 for the to cut out the So Saffron pieces of card, and I'll have to cut them out separately, so you'll just have to bear with me for a minute. And here we go. So there's one. And you see, it just gives it a nice wrinkly edge. It's a really nice finish. And you know, you stagger your plates so that the rollers sort of have steps to go up and over, instead of just one big thick block to go over. So there's my piece for the inside. There it is there. It's lovely. Cuts out nicely. We'll put this die down and pick up die number 2. And we're going to cut out a piece of plain basic white. This is going to go on the front of the card. There, so there again, nice little edge on that. And we'll put that die away. So we're finished with the decal dies. What we need now are the rustic pumpkin dies. So we have this piece of cardstock that we stamped. So all together we're going to cut out the flowers, the loveliest day, and one of the orange, or the what colour is that? Cajun Craze leaves. So here we have the flowers that we're going to colour. We have a sentiment that we stamped. Oops. And we've got one oak leaf so far. There, so I think we have die cut everything we need. Just pop that leaf out. There's a green leaf. That in case we need it. And we've got a pumpkin here. Just a big shot down on the floor. Alright, so we've got to do a little bit of colouring here. We want to colour the flowers a little bit. And we're just going to quickly colour these flowers. They're not going to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect, but we just want to get a little bit of colour in here. I'm going to colour the centre of the sunflowers lightly in old olive. I don't want to press down too hard. And it's okay if there's a couple of little white spots here and there. Sometimes you have to just sort of sit back and take another look, you know, and make sure you've got everything. Especially when it's kind of detailed like this. So that was old olive. We're going to colour the centres of the sunflower, or the petals and what have you of the sunflower, in daffodil, dark daffodil delight. And again, it makes it so easy to colour. Just follow the lines you've been given. Stampin' Up makes you look like a real artist. There. That's the sunflowers. We're going to just put, we've got some pumpkin pie here, and I'm just going to put a little dot on these little round flowers here, just to add a little bit of extra colour. There, just, I think we're going to make this a little flower. There. So that's all I'm going to do for colour on here. Some of it is left uncoloured, some of it is coloured. I have my leaves, my sentiment. The pumpkin itself is very nice. It has some markings on it that Stampin' Up! Have put on, but I am going to colour the bottom of it with a little bit of pumpkin pie, just to give it some detail, okay? A little bit of shading here and there. And again, I'm just following the lines that Stampin' Up! Gave us. And really, that's all you need to do. You can, if you want to, you could go all the way around pumpkin itself. Trace all the, I think they're called spines or whatever they're called. There. And then I think I'm going to take some crumb cake and just fill the bottom in a little bit, so that it's got a little bit of shadow on the bottom. And I'm just sort of doing like wispy little marks here. There, and that's all I'm going to do to it. That's it, done. So now we're going to assemble the card. We have the Cajun Craze, 8.5 by 5.5, 8.5 by 11, scored at 5.5. We've got 2 pieces of So Saffron with the decal cut edge, and one's going to go here like this. So we're going to pop that down. We're just going to use some Stampin' Seal adhesive. See if my silicone mat can help. Sometimes putting it on your silicone mat, just, I don't know what it is, it just gives it that little extra layer, and it just seems to pick up your adhesive a little better. Now, because I'm not sure where this is going to sit, I don't know if it's going to sit evenly, I'm going to put it down with the adhesive side up first till I get a look. So you see, I can see that I have maybe 1/8 of an inch at the top and bottom, but I've got maybe 3/16 at the at each side. So I just need to take that into consideration when I put this down. And here I am looking at 3 sides of my cardstock, so I can get my measurements quite right. Might as well put the piece on the inside while we're on. And I've left the inside blank so that a message can be written in there if you want to. You could stamp a sentiment if you had something appropriate. Because I've already measured this on the front, I don't really need to measure it inside. So I know I've got 1/4 inch or so at the top and 3/16 at each side. There. And then back to the front of the card. And on the front we have this white piece plain white, basic white, which is going to go just on top like this. And because it's the same shape as the saffron piece, it's going to be 1/4 inch at the top and 3/16 or so at the side, I think. It's close. There. So that's the front of the card and the inside of the card, and now we just have to assemble the little pieces. I'm going to take my leaves and I'm going to just use some liquid adhesive to glue these together, and then I'll put them on the back of the sentiment. But I just want a little dab of glue. Let me think. Come off the card. A little dab of glue to hold these two together. Yeah. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue on the bottom of this one, the one that's stamped Old Olive. Just hold that for a second. Put it down and let it sit. And we've got the pumpkin, which is going to go down flat. Just put a little bit of adhesive on the back of the pumpkin. Set him about the middle of the card because the flowers and the sentiment are about approximately the same size. There he is. Flowers up on dimensionals. Here, and we're just going to pop that just so it hides the stem on the pumpkin. Right about the middle of the card. Yep, just like that. The sentiment, we're going to put a little bit of glue on the front of the leaves. Again, not too much. And see where the sentiment's going to sit, just like that. And then we're going to tuck these in behind, I think on an angle like that, and hope they don't stick out the side of the card. It's okay that they stick over they hang out over the saffron and the white, but I don't want them hanging off the edge of the card so that it doesn't fit, so that the card doesn't fit in the envelope. So that's there. Hold that for a second. A few more dimensionals. And as you know, the backings never come off the dimensionals when you're filming live. Do eventually come off, so let me just see where that's gonna sit. Don't want this coming off the edge of the card. Just gonna tip that, just move it a tad. Right there. So there it is. There's a beautiful card, quick card, got a nice shape on the inside as well to write on. This card is another one of my own designs. If you want to copy and share this design, please feel free to do so. If you sell your cards, please use the Stampin' Up! Angel stamp, which just says all the supplies used are Stampin' Up! Supplies. And don't forget to give a shout out to where you saw the card made. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week. Bye.